Welcome back in the Fever now for our Player of the Week segment. And filling in someone else's shoes can often be quite a difficult task, but Friendship's Bryan Slyke is up to that task, and he's doing a good enough job to get that going. Here's George Watson with more.
All right, thanks, Travis. And here with Bryan Slyke, running back for Friendship. Bryan with a big breakout game this week, helping lead the Tigers to a 56-14 win over Dumas. And Bryan, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Talk about the game. Talk about finally kind of getting in the rhythm offensively for these Tigers.
You know, it's kind of tough just moving here all the way from a different state, from California, but adjusting pretty well. And with the offensive line returning 4 or 5 starters this year, you know, it helps a lot getting those yards when you get the push they did in this game. And you know, I just owe it all to them, you know, for helping me get those yards more than anything.
Talk about, do you feel like you're finding maybe a little bit of a comfort zone now, you know, behind these guys, kind of feeling comfortable in the offense?
The first game in the scrimmages, yeah, it was kind of tough. You know, I was out of my zone. I wasn't really I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect from this team. But, yeah, now I'm reaching that zone, working with them every day at practice. You know, it's just getting a lot easier.
Talk about, and you mentioned moving from California. Talk about the different changes you've kind of experienced here coming from California to Texas.
Well, California football and Texas football here is way different. It's like two different worlds. You know, I didn't know what to expect. Just taking it lightly there, and here moving to Friendship, such a big school on football, they take it so serious. It was a big adjustment.
Was it a surprise to you how big it was, a big deal compared to California?
Yeah, it was a very big surprise. Just the first day, just getting into the workout room like that and just hitting those weights and getting out here in this field running those sprints. It was tough, but.
Well, talk about, you know, kind of now that you guys are 2-0, you know, in a big game, you know, getting a couple wins. Now you got a big game against Wiley this week. Talk about, you know, the confidence. It seems like I would think you guys are pretty confident, pretty focused going in this week.
Oh, we got a big focus. You know, last year the team we had last year, we had a bunch of good skill players, and Wiley sure beating them pretty bad.
Is teaming up with Lubbock High, Coronado, and Monterey to bring you Yards for Youth Football, a program that teams up the high schools with a youth football program here in Lubbock. And we're lucky enough to be joined by spokesman Jay Novacek, former Dallas Cowboy, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 3-time Super Bowl champion. And Jay, tell us a little bit about what this program is all about.
You know, it's such a neat program. Altel started this up last year with the Little Southwest Conference, matching every yard gained with $1 and goes right to the youth programs in those areas. And so it was such a hit last year that they went ahead and expanded it this year, and now we're involved Lubbock in it.
And it also involves a Player of the Week and a Team of the Week,
Exactly.
which also be additional donations to the programs.
Exactly, and you know, to be able to have that money go directly to the youth football programs, those kids who eventually are going to be in the high school, you know, it's just a great program, and you know, obviously when you put offense involved with it, not worry about the defense, it gets even more exciting.
Now, you know a little bit about offense, playing tight end for the Cowboys, of course, in Wyoming. But a little bit, you were an all-state quarterback at Gothenburg High School in Nebraska, and you also played for your dad, who was the head coach in 1980. Talk a little bit about what that meant for you, just growing up playing football.
You know, I grew up with it. My dad coached, and he played in high school and college, and grew up with it ever since he was out of college. He was coaching, and so it's been my life, you know, the whole time. And I never did have an organized football until the 7th grade. But, you know, being around my dad and being able to be coached by him you know, is a treat for me.
Your 1996 induction into the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Your brother followed you 2 years ago. And also, recently, you're going to be inducted into the College Sports Hall of Fame, or the College Football Hall of Fame, I should say, in 2008, going in with Lou Holtz, Thurman Thomas, former Red Raider Dave Parks, and also your old teammate Troy Aikman.
That's right. You know, it was special to get inducted to that, and then to have Troy, you know, go in the same year. I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be that topped it off right there.
What's something maybe a moment you take, not necessarily from the years with the Cowboys or even college, but maybe something from high school? What was special to you about those days?
You know, as far as all my playing days, if I could take one era, high school, college, or the NFL, I'd go back to high school in a heartbeat. I had more fun playing with all my friends who are still my best friends of forever, and to be able to go back and put yourself back in that situation, I'd do that before any other Super Bowl or anything.
All right, when we come back, we'll learn a little bit more about that Monterey offense with their game coming up this week against Odessa Permian. George will sit down with Monterey assistant coach Tui Rankin when we come back in the Fever.